Dead random. That was some exhilarating flying, that's for sure. That was pretty amazing. Like I said, drone therapy. I call it drone therapy because that's really what it is. You get out, you get perspectives that nobody else can get unless you're flying. So you get a pilot's perspective, and that's one reason why you should probably get your go to the next level and learn a little bit more about flight. A lot of people end up flying small aircraft for fun. So, all right, later, dead random. And the Avata 2 experience today, a step further. Your next step, if you're in the Neo, if you're enjoying the Neo, this is the obvious place to go. So. All right, so dead random here this morning. Remember that place I flew last week? That was, the construction site. Well, this is actually the other side of the construction site. I made reference to a bike trail. So this is kind of a really cool area. This is kind of a little gem that's been sitting here for a long time, and I have never flown here. And it's really odd that I haven't flown here. It's a pavilion, and it's a really cool launch point. It's an area where there's a lot of bikes going through, so that's probably one of the reasons why I haven't been here. But I've got, if you've graduated from the DJI Neo and you want a little bit of extra fun, a little bit extra punch, this is probably your option. Now, I actually have added a ND filter to the Avata 2, and the Avata 2 was the revolutionary drone platform at this time. And it kind of, like everything else, it just got forgotten. So, yeah, there's a little bit of an echo in here. So I'm going to fly the Avata 2, but what's cool about the Avata 2 is you get a lot more reach. We don't have to. we can do a lot more, and we can have a lot more flight time. So, and that's kind of the advantage of this platform. So we're going to take the Avata 2 out. We're just going to fly this area a little bit, which is a little bit of trees. We do have a trail system here. We'll see how it goes. How many, if I have to dodge any people. Hoping I don't. But I do have a nice launch point, and I do have to connect up the Avata 2. So just give me a second, and I've got to get the goggles 3 and the controller 3 all connected up. So that's the only thing today that I see. Let's see what we got. Let's go. Where is our Avata? Avata 2. Have I been saying Avata 3? Maybe I'm thinking Avata 3. All right, we're there. All right. And we've got, like I said, we're going to have people that are going to share this area, but most people are using the trailhead to hike from. There we go. All right. So we should have a 3-way connection. And we do have people working today. So I can hear the construction site over there. It's active. So we're going to have to keep a little bit further away. And there is a crane hanging up there. So, all right. So let's take it out. I'm going to take the Avata 2 out manual. All right. I'm going to take the Avata 2 out manually. Yeah, there's people using the bike trail this morning. So we're going to take it out manually and make sure that they're not actively using anything. We don't want to really disturb an active construction site. All right. And I think we're ready to go. All right. Okay, here we go. To launch this morning, I'm going to set the Avata 2 out because I want to launch in manual mode. All right. So we'll put it out where we're free of the roof, because this pavilion, if you see, has a roof. So pretty cool. All right. Are you ready? All right. Let's get in the air. Let's get some flight time in. Okay. Right, so smooth. So we're trying to we'll make use of all of this terrain today. So I have a 9x16, so I'm guessing I've got Rocksteady running, I think. Oh, so cool. I can't believe I haven't flown over here. Look at those trails down there. Those are mountain bike trails. There's our pavilion. We'll go behind us a little bit. We will incompatible goggles and aircraft. What's that all about? I have no idea. We have a great signal though. All right, so we're gonna go down this way. We're gonna stay out. I've got the signal, looks great. So we're just gonna go and do a little exploring of the area. Like I said, we've never been here. So okay, so you've been flying the Neo, and you want to go to the next level and get a ton more flight time. Well, the Avata 2 is your bird. And once again, you have the same controller functions. You have the ability to fly much longer. Your battery time is going to be a heck of a lot more for yourself. I just want to make sure we're not interrupting any. Yeah, looks like they're putting a roof on. So yeah, we've got people up there working on roofing. We're going to stay away from them. And just explore. We're going to go back out. Well, a little drainage pond down there. So there's our building as we've come to recognize. I will not go inside of anything. Just go around the building. I'm sure they've got deadlines, but okay, so I talked a little bit about the building with the people that are basically building it. Okay, and basically I talked about the 3-level concept, that this building has 3 floors. And they said that the footprint was the big thing. It was basically establishing a smaller footprint for the building because of the space. And the one thing they didn't tell me was what they were going to do with the old building, with that lot over there. So you can see that when I got behind the steel, that we lost signal. So we got to be very careful here that we don't get too much. But that's what they talked about, that the 3 floors of the building were, conducive to the lot size, and then just the fact that property value or property in the area has gotten so expensive that building future schools requires them to take less space. And you can see that the old building, is just much more expansive. So it takes much more space. You know, a lot more lot. Look at that. I mean, if you get way up and you look at the lot size, you know, that it took to put the middle school in on this side, that it's just massive compared to the smaller footprint of the middle school. So anyway, I just wanted you guys to check that out. We'll get away from the construction going on there, but you know, because they're moving panels stuff, we'll stay away from their work. But the Avata, you know, you can see if you look at the whole entire area, you know, there's limited space. You know, there's just limited space. So, right. So let's start heading back. You know, we've kind of explored this little area here. The Avata 2, but just gives us way more reach. So, all right, let's get down the trail and work our way back. Some fun here. And there's the trail. Isn't that cool? If you're a kid on a bike, wouldn't this be like the ultimate place to hang out? I mean, look at that. I can't believe I haven't brought my e-bike out here. Probably because I want to make sure I don't you know, hurt myself. So, what a neat area, huh? What a neat area to. So this area, if you say you're in the area, now this is southern Utah, and this area is still considered Santa Clara, I believe. We're on the Santa Clara, St. George periphery. You can see the red mountain back there. But this is on Lava Flow. So if you're wondering what street that is Lava Flow Drive. So if you're taking your kids out here and you wanted to try these trails out, there's a ton of places to park. You can look at, there's regular bike trails next to the more advanced trails. And I think they're actually graded out for different, you know, things you want to do as a kid, and bikes and things like that. But yeah, BMX track. I've seen lots of different mountain bikes on there. Are there any other trails back here? I was looking, there's this bike trail here. There it is right there. That's a bike trail. That looks like it's paved. A little bit of off-roading there. But I gotta be careful, I get too low. I will be searching for Avata 2. But, right. So pretty cool. What a great flight. But do you see how I'm saying when I talk to just more flight time? Avata 2 just gives you, you know, you really have a lot of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of milk out the last. Once you get to 30%, you know, you got to start thinking, okay, where am I? You know, how far do I, you know, have to get back? That kind of thing. And I don't know why I've got a incompatible goggle aircraft message, because I am using the controller 3 and I'm using the goggles 3. So, and all of them were made to work together. And once again, just like we've had in the past, we can switch into sport mode. And wow, I didn't know there's that little cliff there. That's pretty cool. And we can fly it in and land safely. And we can actually probably put it on the table where we're sitting, which is always a plus when you don't have to walk very far. And we'll set it back. Should we go around a little bit? It's saying, hey, I wanna land. Ooh, alright. Should I put it on my hat? I'll put it on my hat right about here. Is it even on a flat surface? I don't even know. Alright. Yes, we're on a flat. So we landed in my hat. Here we go. There it is. There's the Avata 2, basically landing in Dad Random's hat. But that's, you know, that's the advantage. I mean, this thing is so high tech. for sure, this should be right now the hottest drone still being flown. If you're going to do a fly through, if you want to mount ND filters, it does. I am flying with the O3 system though. This is not the O4 camera system. It's the O3 system, I believe. Maybe I've got that wrong. I think maybe Avata had the O3 camera system. This might have the O4 Pro system. I can't remember that, so you guys correct me if you... but anyway, yeah, this has to be registered. That's the other thing about this drone. And this one is registered. So, all right. I'm going to take another flight. And this one I'm going to do for myself. I'm not going to share this one. But we're going to explore the area. I got 3 batteries, you know, and that's the thing is each battery gives you, you know, 15 minutes of flight time. And if you want to, you can use the motion controller. I rarely use that motion controller. But all right, Dad Random. Hope you enjoyed this. So if you are flying the Avata or the Neo and you want to upgrade and or downgrade, because for 1K for $1,000 you can have a better system, a way better system. You can fly much more cinematically, I'd say, with much more better video quality. Wouldn't recommend mounting a camera on here. GPS system, safer. There's just so many advantages to this. You got much better flight time. Batteries-wise, upwards of 20 minutes, I would say. I wouldn't go much more than 20 minutes. You get into the 30, you get into the 30% range, and you really have to throttle this down. But you can see I'm rocking a this is a UV filter. So all right, I'm gonna go, I think I'm gonna go a little bit further out, and then just kind of explore a little bit more of the bike trail area. And if I find a better shot for you, I'll share it. All right, later. All right, Dad Random, later. Like I said, if you have graduated from the Neo and you're looking for another opportunity, another challenge with a better system, just a huge upgrade, goggles-wise, you can see I'm not wearing glasses with this. You know, diopters built in, all that stuff. So if you're, you know, correcting lenses and things like that, you can fly with the N3s. You know, it is possible to fly this with the N3 system. So, like I said, somebody's going to correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe you can. So I just don't do it because it's stupid. Why would you do that in this case? So, all right. But yes, I believe you can because it does connect up to the controller the same way. Remember, this system goes, it basically is, it's goggle based. So all the transmission signal is coming through the goggles. So your controller is basically talking to your goggles. That's basically what's going on. The controller is not running the flight. That's the difference in the old system and the new system. So, all right, later, Dead Random. Have a good one. All right, but right here, like I said, this is the next step, logically the next step, until the new system comes out, until the Avata 3 system comes out. And I'm jumping on that as soon as I can get my hands on one. If it's even possible at this time. Same thing with the Neo 2. So, all right, 04 is just another step further than 03. That's for sure. All right, later. Bye. Dad Random. Thanks for enjoying the time with me. If you have not, please like and subscribe, and get on my channel. Check out all the other Avata 2 videos that I have up a bunch. Some really cinematic stuff, you know, you really like to watch. I get out and really explore the terrain around here, and it's amazing. Right, later. Dad Random. All right. Later. Bye.